Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Talking Point. I'm your host, Syed Niaz Ahmed. In our studios today, we have two very distinguished guests, community leaders who have contributed a lot to our Bangladeshi community in and around London. On my right is Mr. Syed Shahabul Alam. He is a former Director of Finance of the Brent, former Director of Friends of Bangladesh, and a social activist, and he was President in the past of Harrow Bangladeshi Association. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming along and making time for us.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. On my left is Councillor Humayun Kabir, former Mayor of London Borough of Croydon. He is advisor, trustee of mosques and associations in and around London, rather Croydon, and very active all the time. It was difficult to get him, but finally he consented that he is found a gap in Sunday's diary. Thank you, sir, for coming along.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you. Our topic today is our vast, enterprising and popular Bangladeshi community that is settled in this country. We will try to trace the history. We will try to trace why they are localized in a particular area, and we will try to understand, explain to you, and project what can be done to improve the situation, if at all, and how we see the future. So, sir, Bangladeshi community in the United Kingdom is considered a small community, about a little over 600,000, but very enterprising. Who are Bangladeshi communities? They started coming to this country since even the days before World War I. This country needed people efficient, hardworking, and people who could work on the ships. So the Lashkars, people who worked in forces, they came up, they started working on the ships. Some of them, it is said, that they jumped the ship, joined the local laborers, not the Labour Party, the labor force in the factories, and they started settling here. But obviously, after the World War I and World War II, there was a lack of skilled laborers, a lack of manpower in Europe and Britain, and so a lot of Indians were recruited, a lot of Bangladeshis, not Bangladeshis then, but Bengalis then, were recruited and brought here to work in the factories. That is the part of our colorful history. But where are we settled? We are settled mostly in London, mostly in Birmingham and Greater Manchester area. In all these places, we are doing very well. There's a lot of plus point, but there cannot be just a bright picture all the time. There are minus points, but the community leaders are here, and we'll be able to understand, explain, and try to find out the ways. Mr. Humayun Kabir, could you describe the Bangladeshi community in your area, that is Croydon?
Yes. When I settled in Croydon in 1977, there were only a handful of people were there, maximum 500 people. Today we are 4,000 plus. So
in Croydon?
In Croydon, so which is 1% of the whole population is Bangladeshi in Croydon. So at that time, in 80s, community was deprived of housing, education, jobs. So we started organizing ourselves as a community to give them advice and support. Now, 30 years later, we are in the decision-making position. Our children are going to Cambridge, Oxford, and other local
other distinguished universities.
Yes, and we have moved on. We have moved on from a community seeking help, now a community giving helps to others.
Right.
And we have done very well in restaurant industry. A number of people in community in our Croydon are in business.
Yeah.
Could be wholesale business of groceries, properties, and some of them are working in cities. Or some of their children are working in cities. So it's a thriving community. Yeah. Although we have one or two issues here and there, but mainly we are doing quite well.
That is natural to have some hiccups without that.
That's right, of course.
Of course. I'll come back to you.
Thank you.
But let me ask my other guest, Mr. Shahabul Alam. North London. When people think about Harrow, they think that it's a very posh area, very distinguished. Not because of people who live there particularly, but there is a name, Harrow School. See? So they think that everybody who lives there must have gone to the Harrow School.
No, that's not the case all the time.
Okay, right. So how do you see your community there? I mean, you were president of Harrow Bangladeshi Association. You worked with the Brent Council. You are also you were very active with the Friends of Bangladesh and many other associations.
Yeah, I was not activist for Labour Party.
Right.
So I was not a part of Brent Council,
Right.
but I know most of them, all the councillors. And in Harrow, we've got a number of Bengali communities. According to the last population census,
That was
I think about
2021.
2021, about 1,600 Bangladeshi lives in Harrow. Out of them, quite a lot of them are professionals, some of them are businessmen, some of them are restaurateurs. They are doing quite well. But I'm also sad to say that the number of communities who are number of Bangladeshi communities who are housebound, they are not happy because they are facing since COVID, they are facing cost of living crisis. They are living. Some of them are living in overcrowded situation, and Mr. Kabir is here. As an ex-mayor, I would like to also request you whether you can do something for the Bengali communities all around London about their housing situation. Some of the families living in one-bedroom accommodation with 2 or 3 children, and council is not doing enough for them. Is it because of the government policy or is it because of the council policy?
It is because of the government policy. For last 12 years, local authority are not getting any grants from the government, from the central government. And local councils are relying upon on housing association or private housing. If there is a private landlord build a building, council can apply and do some social housing. It's only 15 to 20%. That's where the shortage is accumulated. 15 years ago, council were allowed to build houses through the government's funding. But look, as a local authority, only local authority can help their own area, basically. So I cannot do anything from Croydon,
Right.
but your Harrow councillors, Harrow leader of the council or the mayor, whoever is in charge, they should address
the
situation. To meet the social needs.
Right. The problem, what I feel is because of the influx of lot of immigration and influx of refugee seekers, council is also under a lot of pressure.
True.
And it is, I would like to request the Harrow Council, leader of the Harrow Council, to see if they can expedite the accommodation process for the homeless people. Sometimes they're being put in a hostel, sometimes in hotel accommodation.
Yeah,
And as
yeah.
you know, we have seen
There are
there are a lot of
problems.
demonstration
Right.
about housing the
Yeah, but don't you think that this is because the asylum seekers, there is a process of time, about 1 year it takes to process this, and for 1 year they have to be housed somewhere. See?
That's right.
So it was the last government that had approved that system. You see,
That's right.
and that this is we are carrying the legacy, and the problem of housing. The mother of the problem is from there. See, it takes 1 year to process one application. See, so the people have to be housed somewhere. There is a problem that this is an island. We can only take X number of people.
I believe a Home Office is saying they are expediting the process, and
Yep.
Hopefully they are right. But what I feel is a family with 2 or 3 children living in 1-bedroom accommodation is also causing their depression.
Of course.
And it is a big burden for them, and it is putting a pressure on the health NHS as well. So there is something whether they can do about it, or government can
Well,
try.
we don't
this
have to
way.
think of something. It's just this thing has to be done, that they have to be provided with proper housing, not just something.
I welcome the minister's decision today
Yep.
that it will be dealt with within 21 weeks,
Yes,
which is just
half them.
half of the
Yeah.
for before. So that will help. But although, can you imagine when people are staying in hotels and then right-wing militant
Yes,
type people
yes,
are
yes,
shouting
yes,
at
yes.
them, how awful, how sad that is for a country to happen. So I think minister must take even quicker. They should do it in even 15-16 weeks.
Yeah, I think
in my view.
they're going to have mechanisms in place that will be expediting the applications,
Yeah.
and decisions will be made, and it won't go to the courts. They
That's
will have
right.
a special council. to decide
Educator,
it.
they are
Yes.
recruiting at
That-
this very moment.
That is definitely good news.
Yeah.
And thanks to your group.
Thanks to Labour government for expediting right now. They have inherited 51,000 untouched cases. Yeah, so dealing with those 51,000, and then every week there are a couple of thousands new entry. Is draining the system. So I hope your concern is very valid concern, and I hope the government is going to take this action, and we can always write to our MPs to keep an eye on it, to keep pushing, to make that happen
And
quicker.
MPs can write back to you, and you can write back to me.
Even though I'm a Labour Party activist, my support for Labour Party is fading. Our Prime Minister Keir Starmer, he's promising everything left, right and centre, but he's not delivering, and which is sad. And now these boat people coming in, which is causing another problem for the council. But I'm still appealing to the councillors and the council leaders in my borough, Harrow, whether they can do something about it and try to be compassionate to the people who is homeless.
Okay, from this very grim situation let's move to the bright part of our community's good work. We are not very old here. I mean, of course, like people have come from overseas, set in particular areas, done well, and moved out.
Yeah.
Like particularly East London. When we think of over the years, in the past history, people have come from abroad, Huguenots lived here,
Yeah.
they made money, they made a career out of it, good living, from factory workers to factory owners, and they moved out. And the similar rags to riches story has been repeated by many persons from the Bangladeshi community. And
Yes.
the focal point area is East London, and probably the most famous lane is Brick Lane.
Brick Lane, yeah.
That is the basis of the success story. People have come up from there, they have become millionaires.
Yeah, as many says, it's a land of opportunity.
Yes.
If you are in the right time, in the right place, things can happen. We have number of Bangladeshis who are well off. They are investing not only in UK, they are also investing a lot in Bangladesh in different sector. Particular group of people I was with last week in a meeting, they have opened a hospital in a rural area in Sunamganj, Satok area called Gobinganj, Gobinganj General Hospital. And I'm part of it as well, as my friends approached me and I said,
Right.
okay, this is
Right.
a good opportunity. So this is to help people, needy people, with a very reasonable price, not hiked price in cities, because sometimes it's beyond people affordability to
Right,
go
right.
to big names hospital, so they need somewhere where they can afford it and get the best service out
right.
of it.
Right. Are there good hospitals? Because whenever we talk about medical facilities in Bangladesh, people do not come up with positive opinion.
Actually, to be honest with you, at the moment things are changing because government has brought out some legislation to have a good regulation and guidance for those hospitals. To have a license, they have to have certain things. Obviously, if someone started doing a business without license, that will be illegal. So to have a license, they have to have certain regularities and some certain standard. Yeah,
Yep.
you have to have number of patient and what is the ratio of the doctors they are going to examine.
Yep.
All the, so
Which
there
is-
are things in places
Which is pathetically low in Bangladesh.
in Bangladesh, but if you are going for private hospital,
Yeah.
the one that I just
Yeah.
mentioned, they are not, because they have to abide by that licensing law.
True.
Now, government's hospital, which are free, like in Sylhet, I have got experience of Osmani General Hospital. It is tremendously overcrowded hospital because we need more hospital like this in any cities or in any town. So when there is overcrowding, standard goes low. When there is no good manager, the hygienic standard goes low. There was a report few months ago. I was amazed to see that how poorly run, and it has attracted the attention of the governments as well. They've been told off to clean it up, to do it a better standard.
That is where I want the Bangladeshi community living in London, living in other cities, should come up and contribute. Apart from just building madrasas and yatim khana, we should invest in hospitals and schools.
And schools, as you know, there are a number of public schools are also coming up. With they are doing GCSE and A levels standard to here. They are connected to exam boards
Good,
over here,
good.
and so there are a number of Pravasi Bangladeshis who decided temporarily to settle in Bangladesh. They can go to the similar school and colleges and catch up here because they are connected to exam board here. And also for Bangladeshis who are living in Sylhet or Dhaka, or there are amazing schools, about 5-6 amazing schools in Bangladesh. I have seen some video, I have seen some Instagram advertisement. Those, they are amazingly clean, amazingly disciplined,
They've got good teachers.
and good teachers. They do everything by the book. Yeah,
Right.
well trained. They're private, unfortunately. People need to pay, but our children doesn't need to go to other countries to be educated. If country can provide that, why not?
True.
So
true.
this is the
very
aim.
good, very good. Mr. Shahabul Alam, in your area, you are from a different part of Bangladesh, isn't it? See, what is your observation about that area? How developed it is, and how much of your community is doing to try or trying to improve situations in the schools and hospitals there?
I'm from Kumilla, which is it's a crossroad between Sylhet, Chittagong, and Dhaka. So it's strategically allocated.
Very important location, yes.
Yeah, and what Humayun Bhai said about the hospitals facilities in Bangladesh, which is very, very true. It has got very good facilities, state-of-the-art equipment, but only thing that I keep hearing that diagnosis sometimes goes wrong, and that's where the problem lies. So if whether somebody told me from Bangladesh, in Bangladesh you can have lots of business, you can make loss or you can make profit, but one business you will never make loss, which is hospital business. So that's I was very sad to hear that. And so if as a community leader in your area, if that can be addressed, the diagnosis, if the diagnosis is right, people will be, they can be cured quite easily. They don't need to go to Calcutta or Singapore.
Well, so what is the reason of wrong diagnosis?
Is it, as I said,
not proper,
maybe,
medical men?
It's not a humanitarian establishment, it's a money-making establishment. That's the complaint that I'm getting. I haven't got any experience, but that's what I'm hearing. You will be able to give.
Yes, sure. My outlook is like this. I can only speak from my own experience. So I can speak again from Gobindganj General Hospital, which is in Sylhet to Sunamganj Road, about 20 kilometers from Sylhet. And there are a number of qualified doctors who are working from Sylhet and other places. People have been employed from Dhaka and other cities who has got a lot of experience. And I'm getting good vibes, I'm getting good hearing good result from that, because their diagnoses are good, because aim of the owners.
We have to have a break right now, so we'll come back and definitely talk about the good story.
The story of the medical.
We were talking to our distinguished today about Bangladeshi community spread over this country. They say that we are in London, most of them are in London, in Birmingham and Greater Manchester. My question is, why have we, or probably 90% of them, settled in London rather than go ahead and explore more areas? East London is one of the areas where we have the most. East London itself, as I said before in the beginning, that it has got a history of accommodating people coming from abroad. Huguenots lived here, from workers to owners, and then they moved up, left the country, the area, and moved on to Hornchurch, other places. Then again, the reason why they settled here was there was a Dagenham motor company or Ford factory there. It's not there anymore, but a lot of people work there. That was an attraction. Brick Lane is another distinguished, iconic street that has helped develop the talent of a lot of Bangladeshi settlers. Why do you think, Mr. Humayun Kabir, that Bangladeshi coming to this country chose to live in East London?
Well, it's mainly for the London dock. So there was, as you know, at that point, all the cargo was carried in, out through London dock mainly. But there are a number of Bangladeshi settled in Portsmouth, Southampton, Ipswich area, because of their unique reason for having a dock there. So my history starts with Mr. Ayub Ali, Ayub Ali Master, who is my grandfather on my mom's side, my mom's uncle. He was one of the original person who settled in Brick Lane area in before,
do you
after,
remember the date?
I don't know the exact date, but it was between 47, 46, yeah, before
Just after the war.
yeah, just after the war. And he was based in Artillery Passage, number 13. I remember the door number, number 13. So it was the hub for Siemens. He was the group leader of those Siemens who would come. He will find them sleeping accommodation. He will find food for them. He will cook for them, find job for them. And he was known as Ayub Ali Master Shop, you know, the hub. His nephews, his son and others were also connected to this history. They were there to help him. And he's in the book, a book written by Caroline Adams, 7 Seas and 13 Rivers. Yeah, Caroline Adams wrote this book.
Yeah.
And he has a lovely photos with his family members, my uncles and him. And he's been dedicated that page saying he was the entrepreneur. He was, you know, the milestone of the immigrant ship.
He was the patriarch.
Yeah, patriot. Yeah. So that's where the family and history starts personally to me.
Well, what did they do?
They started opening cafe and restaurants. They started work in the rag trade, in working as a machinist.
Yeah.
You know, that time it was upcoming. And then they went to different places like Bedford and places like that where brick factory was. Yeah, different people went different places, but mainly with early 60s they started opening Indian restaurant at that time. Yeah, and it became a popular diet for locals. Yeah, because they had this connection with India. A lot of soldiers were there. They came and they looked for the food here. And it became a very successful business for Bangladeshi community.
How did you attract the local people? I mean, that's probably when they opened restaurants, their own people where the Bangladeshis were going to Bangladeshi restaurants, you see. But how was this broken, this barrier?
Barrier broken because they started opening high street places. First, they started opening cafes here and there for their local people, local client.
Yeah.
But when they started opening for the wider market, for the regulars community, it was so good standard. Curry houses, you know, they were clean, although they were traditional. Wallpaper, flocked, red wallpaper with red chair and all that. And it picked up because people started to say, look, let's try. And at that point, people were drinking heavy as well. So after a beer, a hot curry will go nicely.
Yes,
okay.
Also
that
the
was
timing,
the
I think, the pubs close at 11.
Yeah,
and that is when they walk out and find
a curry shop open. Yeah, and that trend has developed over the years. Now is fine dining. Bangladesh is do, you know, amazing fine dining. They have started association. They have started training. They have started different business elements to catering industry.
Yes,
I'm sure
there are a lot of takeaways.
Lot of takeaways. At one point, it was mentioned there are 10,000 outlets in London, in UK. So can you imagine 10,000 outlets? Is a big message to the community.
Yeah, it was considered that the turnover of the trade is about 10 billion.
10 billion.
Every year.
And taxpayers, you know, they had a voice basically. So British Bangladeshi Caterer Association and different organizations now, about 3-4 different organizations. They had direct contact with 10 Downing Street. Can you imagine? A small community started 60, 70 years ago selling curries. Now they have access to 10 Downing Street to tell about their message.
It is also rumored, and I also learned it from the gentleman himself, Tommy Mia, that he provided curry to Buckingham Palace. And one of the books written by Tommy Mia, he showed me the book, he was on this show, the preface has been written by the Queen. Nobody can claim that
That's
except
right.
Tommy.
Except
Then the
Tommy,
preface was written
who is
by the
Bangladeshi, and he's our ambassador.
Yes.
And there are number of people are doing very well in restaurant
Well,
industries.
so was that's another icon in Amali.
Anamali, he's done very well.
He took curry industry to greater heights.
He did indeed.
I believe the Bangladesh Caterers Association is providing training for the chefs.
Yeah,
And
BCA.
I think it's a lack of innovation in our restaurateur. They are probably not trying to do something new. The younger generation who is in the catering business, they have got a new idea. But our old ideas, like as you said, red velvet wallpaper and red chair, those days are going
Gone. And,
those days are gone.
replaced by-
In Brick Lane, half of the restaurant or more than half is closed down, and you can see is a coffee bar, Eastern European coffee bar. So it's a trend is changing. So I'm glad that Catering Association is providing training for the chefs, and I think which is really needed. And as you have got access to the Catering Association, you can please request them to advertise the training facilities which is available.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, they have to, because they are in the trade, they are part of the business, they are part of the community of restaurant owners. See, so I'm sure that they are aware of it. The other thing is that now this sit-down restaurant, they have tough competition from takeaways. See, if two persons go to a sit-down restaurant in a nice posh atmosphere, they spend about 50-60 pounds at least. Easily, see. And then if you just park your car somewhere in the right place, walk to the takeaway, can buy things for two persons. If you spend 10 pounds, that's more than enough.
These days, 10 pound doesn't go much, but
Yeah.
it will be
Yeah.
20 to 30 pound now, realistically.
Yeah.
But people need to celebrate different occasion, and
Yes, of course,
and sometimes they want to go from home. They go out and they want to relax in a good environment, where they can sit down and have a meal. So that demand is still there.
Yeah.
Occasionally, people are in hurry,
Yep.
and so they need to call into a takeaway.
Yes, yes.
So both work. So takeaway is doing a quick service, quick business, quick meal for the people who are in hurry. If you want to enjoy a good meal, then you find a good restaurant in your area, and you go and relax.
Right.
So both work actually. So I welcome both.
Yep.
And I'm also previously I owned a takeaway and a restaurant, and I was member of British Caterers Association and all that. I have done my bit in my earlier life before I went to politics and doing serving community in a different route. Now I am busy with the food bank.
Just going to mention that you are associated with the humanitarian job.
That is, you are giving food without money.
Without money, because people need it. Can you imagine how
But
many?
it is a profitable business.
It's not, because the number
Not in
of
profit
asylum.
money, but in other terms.
Yeah, hopefully you get reward. Yeah, asylum seekers. Yeah, sometimes they stay in hotels or in a rented accommodation. They don't have the job. You see, they are given some vouchers and some money. That's not enough. There are local people who are doing maybe a low salaried job and running a family household of 3-4 children. It's not enough cash about, because of the cost of living has gone to the roof. Challenging time. And especially after the COVID, people really find it difficult. So they need some help from other sources. So every Sunday I spend a couple of hours running a food bank.
These are mostly, we have talked about the plus points of the community, achievements, brilliant work, good work and all that, see. But there are a lot of minus points, see. What does come to your mind as number one minus point that is prevalent in the community?
In our community, in some places, there are issues of drug taking by young people. So they are not really engaging with the community. Yeah. So one problem bring another problem.
Right.
You know, if they're addicted to alcohol or drugs or other intoxication issues,
gambling,
it will destroy the family. So this is one of the things that we need to be mindful of.
Right.
Because sometimes it can happen in a successful family as well.
Right.
If you have 4 sons, successful son and daughter, one might go astray, drift away somewhere else, and got involved in wrong things. To do that, to finance that, sometimes they will get into crime, minor crime, credit card frauds, or So these are the things we need to be mindful and try to address them with the local council, whatever support they are providing. There is still some support on parenting, how to look after that young person, whether it's a boy or a girl, when they're growing up, especially from the primary age. You need to start giving extra care. You might know or might not know. I have worked in the council for 27 years, supporting families who have issues with young people, disengaged young people, to bring them, how to engage them with the family and school community, so they can get a better result.
Yes, because
on that point, can I please? You brought up a subject which is, I know council helps the community and all the families, but one thing at the moment which is very difficult for families with children, or especially elderly families, everything they have to do online. If you go to council to apply for anything, you have to do it online, and this is another problem. For the younger generation, it's okay, they can do it just like that, but elderly people like me, for people I know, it is very difficult for them to do anything online. If you go to job center, you have to do it online. If you go to a bank to open an account, they say, sorry, we can't help you, you have to do it online. So it's the world has moved on, but it will be okay in maybe in another 10 years time. With the older generation will be gone by that time. But until that, another 10 years, will you be able to help in some way? Council, they can do something for the community, helping with the filling up the form, or the job center, they can do something. I believe job centers people are very sharp with the people, you know, they just don't want to know.
Very professional.
very professional, yeah. So because you are associated with the Croydon Council, you have been ex-mayor, so you've got a lot of influence. See if you can do, keep some volunteers in the council, help them with the application,
filling
online.
in the forms and all that.
We are tapping in where there is resources. I give you some example in Croydon. As a councillor in Croydon, I can give a good example from Croydon. So in Croydon, those people who are struggling like this, every Monday there is a place called Age Concern. There is an organization called Age Concern. They are connected to Croydon Council. Croydon Council support them. So there will be 20 different officers, including us councillors. 1 or 2 councillors will be there to give exactly the same service. So that's one point. Now, I represent an organization called British Bangladeshi Society in Croydon, BBSC. We run twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday, in Queen's Community Center. We run an advice session with help of a solicitor. His name is Mahiuddin. He gives 1.5 hour session, 2 hour session to these Bangladeshi communities who has got real issues of getting online and applying for their benefits or housing or any issues that they are unable to deal. But good thing is, number of families, slowly we can see that their own children are trying to help them who are educated,
Yeah,
who are
sure.
good at online. So anyway, so those who cannot do it, they still come to us. And top of that, I'm sure you know, all the local councillors, they run surgeries
Yeah.
once a month or twice a month, depends on the councillor, depends on the area, depends on the demand. And the councillor can also help. If they go there and say, look, I can't get online, can you help me? We'll say, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
come,
yeah.
let me. So these kind of help are there,
Okay.
but it's not known to everybody. That is the problem.
Okay.
Although it's advertised,
Okay.
although it's leafleted,
Yeah.
but still people sometimes
Yeah,
miss it.
There are a lot
Right.
of facilities available.
Available.
People are not aware
Yeah,
of
so
it.
they need to get into their local.
Well, there are advertisements in local newspapers,
Newspapers, yes,
about
they are
this.
about this
And
in the
from time to time,
library, window.
when I receive a letter from the council, it's a normal print, and then something more in double 4-size print. And I said, I can still read the normal one, so they're wasting that paper.
Yeah.
But this other thing is how the community, we have done very well so far, how the community can, I'm not talking about assimilation, how do we integrate well? We are still on the sidelines.
Yeah.
We maintain our own character, and we have, alhamdulillah, with language, traditions and everything. That should be there, but we are still on the sidelines. A lot of our young people and not so young have joined politics, and they are taking important positions in the government. That's very good. We have so far, we have only 4 MPs. We hope that with the participation of more members from this community, we'll have more members, more say in the parliament. Do you see something like that coming in future?
It is, because although our youngsters are busy with their profession and all that, yeah, I understand fully. If they are working for JP Morgan, it will be very difficult for them to come
Sure.
to evening meetings, you know, and taking Saturday, you know, Friday off or Thursday. So there, but politics, you see, you have to like it before you join.
Yeah,
You have to have the feelings.
Yeah.
If you have the feeling to serve the people, then you can be a politician.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So with that feeling and with that, yeah, there are number. Can you imagine in Croydon we did selection for future councillors next year. About eight of them are under 25.
Yeah.
So with the Labour Party, 3 things in mind. We want to promote people from ethnic minorities so they can have their own voice.
Right.
They have been spoken by them by the other voices. And it's bad time they have their own voice.
True.
So when they are selecting, they think of ethnic minority. Now, the other second element was to promote females members.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this time it will be 30 out of 70 candidate. I have a feeling it will be 40 female and 30 male. So we have exceeded our expectation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And third is age.
Yes.
We need to promote young people. In Croydon, 93,000 young people live in Croydon. 93. And that's 25%
Yeah.
of the population roughly. Yeah. So we need to have young people
Right.
talking about their service.
Thank
about
you,
their
sir. We are running out of time. A last word from our distinguished guest on my right from North London, Shahabul Alam. 1.5 minutes we have got to end the program, so your last words.
Yeah. We've been talking about good side and bad side of Bangladeshi community. There's one thing which hurts me quite a lot. I watch a lot of legal program, and I understand there are a lot of domestic violence issues in this community. I'm requesting the younger generation to be kind towards their partner so that the domestic violence doesn't occur. It's a small issues, they can sort it out between themselves.
Thank you very much. We have enjoyed the show and enjoyed your company, and we have discussed some of the most important things of the community, and we hope that we will look forward to have another program where we will talk about the integration, because that is a topic that we have not touched very much. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope that you've enjoyed the show as much as we have in producing it. See you again, same time, same channel in future. Thank you.